Credit card debt weighing you down? Do you feel like a cash out refinance to pay off all that credit cards may be the play for you? If that's you, this video is for you. Debt consolidation through a cash out refinance is something that a lot of my clients are looking at. I'm going to show you a comment I got on my YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about the $1.2 trillion in consumer debt that Americans are faced with today, how a cash out refinance may or may not make sense for you. So let's jump right into it. First and foremost, I really love this comment. So if you follow my channel, if you're watching these videos, these comments in here, reach out to me and my team, greatmortgagebroker.com. I'd love to help you. I'd love to talk with you and talk through some of these challenges people are having. So as I go through this scenario, know that I'm not just going to talk about the generalities of it. I'm going to show you the numbers. I'm going to talk about the numbers. And I think that's helpful for people to think about and reasons why you may or may not want to do a cash out refinance. So, hi, Matt. I'm considering a cash out refi to consolidate debt. We have about $75,000 worth of debt and pay well over $2,000 a month in payments combined. Common situation where people have a lot of credit card debt when it's 20, 23, 26%. That's going to be big monthly payment. And even with this $2,000 in monthly payments, I bet you not a lot is going toward. Current mortgage balance is $230,000 at 3.875%. That's a 30-year fixed rate mortgage that they closed in July of 19. I haven't officially had my home appraised, but according to Zillow, my home is worth about $410,000. Now, knock Zillow if you want. It's a half decent estimate, I'm sure, for most parts of the country. Do you think it's worth doing a cash out refinance to wipe out our high interest consumer debt? Thanks. Now, let me show you one graphic and it will drive home this point that, man, oh man, this follower that left this comment is not alone. This is a common problem with Americans today. Now check that out. That is credit card debt since 2018. This isn't a graph that's like 40 years of credit card debt. This is 2018, and that's about $800 billion. Then we hit the pandemic. People get a lot of stimmies, a lot of stimmy checks. They pay off a bunch of credit card debt when everyone's getting money raining in from the federal government, from the sky. And this goes down to about, call it 760, 770 billion. Then over the last 4 years or even 3 years, from 21 to 24, consumer credit card debt has skyrocketed over 1.21 trillion in credit card debt. So, person who left a comment on the YouTube channel is certainly not alone. They've got credit card debt and they want to know, should they do a cash out refinance? Now, in past videos, I've talked about you've got a great interest rate. In their case, 3.875. You might not want to refinance that because your rate is going to go up. But let me tell you something. This is something that a math nerd that I am has started a lot of these conversations just around math. But it's not always just about math. I can imagine that some people listening to this video have $50, $75, $100,000 in credit card debt. Entertainment's more expensive. School and groceries and everything with your kids is more expensive. People are taking care of aging parents. All of that is more expensive. The fact that somebody's got, their portion of this 1.2 trillion, $50,000, $75,000, I know how burdensome that can be. I know how heavy that can be. I know how that will affect somebody's mental state, right? It is really hard. And so you can do the math and you can say, paying off credit card debt and getting a plan to pay it off in 36 months, or maybe a home equity line of credit, and you're going to do it this way or that way. And the math can say one thing, but the heart, and for a lot of people, just the relief, the deep breath that one can take, just saying, I've got $2,000 in credit card debt that I pay. The minimums is $2,000 a month, and it's $75,000. If I do this cash out refinance and my principal balance goes from 230 to 315, because there's, some title fees, and there's, depending on state you're in, you might have transfer tax. You're going to prepay the tax and insurance for the next mortgage. So maybe your new balance is 310 or 315. and that new payment is going to be $900, $1,000 more expensive than your old mortgage, but you're wiping out $2,000 in credit card debt. Net, your monthly cash flow, you're lowering what you're paying per month by over $1,000. But more importantly than that, I think for a lot of people, it's the deep breath. It's the restart. Quick caveat and quick side note. If you're going to do this, you need to fix the issue. If there was some frivolous spending, if there was stuff that wasn't in the budget that you started eating out 17 times a month or something else that led to this credit card debt, make sure you try to plug those holes and fix that before you do it. But what I want to tell people is don't be ashamed to do a cash out refinance and now have all of this debt, the mortgage plus the credit cards rolled into one at 6.875. Even if I could show you math and say 3.875 first, 8.5% second, blended rate is X. One, the home equity line of credit might be variable, so it might not make sense for you. Two, it's just a matter of lowering that monthly outgo, allowing you to clear the slate on credit card debt. And so I promised I'd do the math. That $230,000, if that's the balance at 3.875, that principal and interest payment is $1,148. Granted, they started with a higher principal balance in 2015, so it's more likely that that payment is about $1,200 because the balance was higher when they started. So let's call it $1,200 a month. And then you go to $315,000 at 6.875. The new payment is $2,135 a month. So it's gone up $935 a month. It's a good estimate. Here's where some magic can truly happen. You're saving $1,000 a month, this person's specific scenario, because they said that they pay $2,000 a month towards the credit card debt. So new mortgage payment of $2,135 versus old mortgage payment of $1,200 plus $2,000 in credit card debt is $3,200. If you take the $1,000 a month that you're saving on cash flow and you apply that towards the principal of the new 30-year fixed rate mortgage, and this is where good habits are very important. You don't want to re-rack up credit card debt. You certainly don't want to make extra payments on a mortgage if you're also racking up 26% credit card debt. But if you did that, your new mortgage, pause this video if you want to guess how long it would take to pay off that new $315,000 balance, 6.875, if you applied the $1,000 you're now saving per month towards the principal. I don't have it in front of me, but I did it earlier. I think it was 155 months. That is less than 13 years. 180 is 15, so 156 is 13. Yeah, 12 years, 11 months. You have it all paid off, right? And it's the same payment that you're paying now. And they've got 25 years left on their 30-year fixed at 3.875. And who knows how long paying minimum payments on that credit card where you're swimming upstream is going to take to pay off, right? In a perfect world, you'd make an extra $1,000 a month towards that if you had it, and you'd pay those off sooner, right? But as it stands, $1,200 mortgage, $2,000 in credit card debt. If you stay in that situation where this listener who left the comment was at, sure, you've got a great low rate mortgage, but you're swimming upstream with $75,000 in credit card debt and $2,000 a month in payments that I would imagine is barely chipping away. $300, $400 of that per month probably goes towards principal. The rest is just an interest payment. So in conclusion, if you're in this situation and you want to do debt consolidation through a cash out refinance, Americans, while they have 1.2 trillion in credit card debt, also have trillions on trillions on trillions in home equity. So more than likely, if you owned your home more than 3 to 5 years, you're going to have significant equity. It is worth having a conversation. If you've got 20,000 in credit card debt and your first mortgage is 500 grand and it's sub 5%, you probably want to leave it alone. If your credit card debt is significant enough, and in this case, it's about a third of the mortgage debt, cash out refinance might make sense. There's not one answer for everybody. It's an individual type thing where you have to have a conversation about your individual scenario and see what truly makes sense for you. So if you want to connect me and my team, we are more than happy to help. Go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out the quick form. We're licensed in 48 states. So whether you're California, Texas, Florida, Tennessee, New Jersey, we can help. And we would love to. We'd love to have the conversation with you. I said in a prior video where this comment came from that 9 out of 10 people, I tell them not to do anything. I'm also having a lot of consults with people where a local credit union might be the best place for a home equity line of credit. But if a refinance makes sense and a mortgage broker you like and trust to give you good advice tells you it makes sense, then that might be the play. In this case, with this borrower, once I have a conversation with them, we'll find that out. I'm on the fence, whether it's a yes or a no, based on what the goals are, what the plan is, how long this client plans to stay in this house and whatnot. But the conversation with somebody who you like and trust is where it starts. You can start at greatmortgagebroker.com. Thanks so much for watching. Leave your comments down below. Let me know how you're feeling. Something about this comment today just really got me thinking. It's more than just math, right? And I think that people being stressed out and weighed down and debt affecting people's mental health is part of the conversation at the very least. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.